All right, there you go. I'm going back to my regular.
Okay. Well, I like the fireplace.
Yeah, it gives it a nice, lived in feel. I actually do have a fireplace, which is you can't see it because it's right
Why?
I don't know. It's Texas is weird.
Did you use it during the big freeze?
So the thing is that our fireplaces here are they're gas only. They're not actually wood burning. So the
Right.
apartment has to come and turn them on. And by the time we hit 5 degrees, they were so backed up with exploded water mains that they didn't have time to turn people's gas on. So the answer is no, I did not.
Okay.
But,
That would have been great if you could actually use it when it was cold.
It would have been, but
Yeah.
fortunately I'm fat, and so it all kind of worked out.
Get the panda thing going.
That's right. It's just like, that and bamboo, and I'm good to go. So for anybody who watches this besides me and Ben
And my son.
and well, yeah, but he doesn't know who the hell I am. I'm George. That's Ben. These are our fat hands. And that is the name of our podcast that we're trying to start.
Who are we sponsored by today?
Today we're sponsored by cheese because it's delicious.
What kind of cheese? Just cheese?
Cheese.
It's so generic. I thought there'd be like a specific cheese.
Yeah,
I set you up. I threw you a softball right there.
I know. You're up for Gruyere or Limburger, maybe mozzarella, or our favorite provolone, but no, just cheese.
Just
all
cheese.
cheese.
So you're kind of like accepting of all cheeses.
That's right. We want anybody in the cheese market who wants to give us money, we'll rep you. So
right. We'll take it. Yeah. Even if it's Limburger or some weird cheese, I don't know what it is.
That's right. Don't care. We'll take it. It's all good, man.
Drink
it's all
that.
There you go. So you have the topics. So ping them to me. Can you ping them with the Skype?
Oh, well, I was talking. No, I can't ping them. How would I do that? No, I was talking. Oh, I got a hole in my sweatshirt. How could this be? I just got this sweatshirt.
Holy crap.
I just got this like a month ago, and I got a hole in the arm.
Bear wrestling? We're going to play with bears. Yeah, bears.
The bears.
Bears.
Yeah, that's right. I have the thing with the bears. No, I just got this sweatshirt, and I know this is not amusing, but I'm kind of upset because it's really nice and soft and everything, and it's got a hole in it. I really don't know how it got that. It's not my fault, is what I'm going to say. Actually, I was talking to my wife before about the topics, and she goes, "Oh, are you going to talk about your cable things?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And she's like, "Well, you guys were both, like I said, she is, "Oh, who is this guy, George?" And I said, "Well, we both work for, we both work for Verizon, and, but he also was out in the field." And he goes, "Oh," she goes, "You should talk about all your field stories. Working at home, I don't get those stories anymore." But she was going to give me some topics. I'm like, "Well, will you text them to me?" And she's, "No, I won't text them to you." So, but she was just, I was kind of fishing for ideas, and she wasn't really, she wanted to give me the ideas, but not put any little effort into it. So.
Right. And for anybody who does watch this by chance, there is no direction with this. This is just free form, free thought. Two middle-aged guys just bullshitting, basically. That's it. By the way, have we discussed whether or not we want to use foul language, because it's going to be really hard?
Oh, we definitely should. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
good.
I was actually thinking about that before.
Yeah.
I was thinking, A, it's going to be awkward, and then B, we should definitely use cursing and swearing.
Right.
I don't know what the things are about YouTube, like whether or not you're allowed to swear on YouTube. Probably not, right?
So with YouTube, if we're going to try to make money off it, you cannot, anything I think that uses, I think it's the F word. So you can't say fuck on YouTube, or else you get demonetized.
We're going to have to bleep that out.
Yeah, whatever. for the four people watching this,
right. Fuck it.
I think we have to have a minimum of 500 views before we can even submit for monetization. So for this video, I think we're going to be safe.
Well, I don't even know what any of that stuff means, so I'm fine, I think, with any of that stuff.
So if you have a YouTube channel and you want to make money off it, because the way you make money is the more views you get, the more money you make. So but you have to have a minimum of X amount of views before you can submit. You have to submit for monetization of a video. So, yeah, there you go.
But you're allowed to drink soda on YouTube, right?
I think you can drink beer. You can do everything other than mainline heroin, I think is the cutoff. I think that's.
I'm drinking. This is root beer.
Yeah, that's that is. And I also want to apologize to anybody who watches this. I live in Texas, and I don't have a Texas accent. Ben lives in New Jersey. He doesn't have a New Jersey accent. So I just want to apologize to everybody who was hoping to get the whole, southern northern thing. It's not going to happen. So.
That's not what this is about. No, it's totally not
right.
about like, oh, y'all a southern boy, and
right.
and I'm, I don't have the Jersey accent at all.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a little Jersey accent, but I do say water.
Not like not the cartoonish like use guys and
No. But there's nothing better than going to a diner and the waitress says, "How you doing, hun?" And what can I get yous? And you think for a little bit, like, is she messing with me? When she says, "What can I get yous?" And actually, a guy I used to work with, his wife spoke like that, and super sweet lady. But it was like, that's a Jersey accent when you say use, Y-O-U-S, instead of you. I don't say that. Yeah. I do say what, like, say what? How do you say water?
Water. I say water.
Water. Yeah, I say it like W, water, like W with a U. It's not an A word. Right. It's a U word. Right. So, yeah. So while we're apologizing, we'll apologize for that. I don't have an accent.
I know it's terrible. So anybody's hoping to see that, it's not going to happen. And
you'd have to advertise that it's a north-south thing, but it's not really a north-south thing at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I can tell you, there's plenty of people. Like, I do say y'all. That's
Really, you can't help it though. Everybody says it, right?
Yeah. I don't say y'all. I just say y'all. I don't really drag it out with a drawl or anything. But
I like that word though. That's a good word because it's like friendly and it kind of brings in a group of people. Like if you're talking to a group of people, you say, "Hey, y'all, how y'all doing?"
Exactly. Yeah. See, more of a Texas accent than I do. So, speaking of accents, that segues into one of the topics that we did say we're going to talk about, and that was my Asian girlfriend.
You want to jump right into the good topics?
Well,
juiciest of topics.
Well, the thing is that I don't know if you had this problem, but once I progressed past the age of 50, two things. One is I forget what I was going to tell you and talk about, and the second one is I'll probably tell the story several times, probably during this conversation, because I'm old and I forget shit.
Well, that's okay. As long as it's funny every time, then that's all you need.
Yeah. So this story to me is hilarious. Oh, my knock joke. Oh my God!
If you really want me to get the list, I could.
No. You don't have to get the list, but
I think it's better if we don't use the list, honestly. Yeah. At least to start, let's just see what happens.
Absolutely. We'll say the knock joke for next time. And just for the record, the knock joke, nobody will laugh at that but me. It's a joke I created. It's terrible. It's not that. Well, I think it's hilarious, but I think I've met like one other person who thought it was funny in the 20 years since I created it, but it makes me laugh. But no, this story, I think I just owe you this story because we've been talking about it for so long. And I love telling it. This is one of my favorite stories. So I was dating this beautiful young Asian woman. Beautiful, gorgeous, way out of my league. I don't know how I ended up with her. Just absolute stunner. And she was not born here. She was born overseas in her native land. I won't say where that land was because she may somehow see this and then beat me up.
But because maybe we'll be sponsored by them later too. So.
So maybe.
Right. Today, sponsored by Vietnam.
By Vietnam.
Tourism.
Yeah.
It could be Vietnam.
But she's not. But yeah, but if Vietnam,
well, you don't want to say that, Joe. Don't say that she's not, because then I'm going to narrow it down. Oh, sponsored today by Thailand. Go to Bangkok or something. So don't narrow it down.
Yeah, no, I won't. So
and we're also not going to bleep that because Bangkok is a city.
That's right. There's a song about that that Mike Tyson sang in a movie once. But one night in Bangkok, nothing. All right. Anyway, so I met this young lady. She was a waitress at a restaurant. I won't say the chain because they haven't sponsored us yet, so we won't say that. And I would go there every week, every Wednesday, and shoot. I always make sure I sat in her section because I had a huge crush on her. And then one day she's like, "We should go out," and I'm like, "Yes, we should." You are correct, absolutely. So so finally the day came, and I gave her my address. She's like, I'll come over to your house. I'm like, okay, excellent. And the apartment I lived in at the time had a horrible pigeon problem. So my apartment, if you walked out the front door, there's like always like 6 pigeons. And I mean, it's like every apartment. There's like 1,000 pigeons that lived in this apartment complex. I don't know why, but they loved it.
Okay.
So actually, I'm sorry. I met her at the restaurant. So she's like, "I'll meet you next time." I'm like, okay. And so I walk out of my apartment, and I look to my right, and there's a pigeon standing there, like 1 foot away from me. It didn't walk away. It didn't fly away. It didn't even look at me. It was just standing there. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, this is about to be a dead pigeon. I can just tell by the lack of the
you thought
amount
it was
of
a sick pigeon?
Yes, I'm like, the amount of lethargy in this pigeon that it won't even walk away from me when I'm standing a foot away from it.
Right. Okay.
Does not bode well. So anyway, so I go and I meet this lovely young lady at a restaurant. It happens to be I took her to not the same restaurant she worked at, but the same chain.
Oh,
it was her idea. I was
okay.
like, okay.
Well, she knew you liked it, so okay.
Right, exactly. So,
right.
So goes, and she just gets hammered. I don't drink, so she ties one on, has a good time. We come on back to my place, and I'm like, "Hey, would you like to come up?" And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm like, "Oh crap, stay here. You have to stay here." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Just you got to stay here."
Were you worried about the pigeon?
Yes. And so she's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "All right, I'll be right back." So I run up, and my apartment entrance on 1 story up. It had a nice big kind of landing, big patio. So I go up, and exactly where the pigeon had been standing, it is now cartoonishly laying on its side, dead, with legs sticking, just like a cartoon. His legs sticking straight out, just boop, just like it was like a model of a pigeon. Somebody knocked it over. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what do I do? Well, fortunately, that part of the landing is where we put our trash for the daily trash guy to pick up. So I run inside, grab some trash bags. I wrap up the pigeon, tie it off, and I put it over. And there's another bag of trash there. And I'm like, oh God, thank God, So I run down to the car and get back in. And I'm like, okay, it's safe now. And she's like, what was the deal? I'm like, oh, you really don't want to know. And she goes, no, tell me what's going on. I'm like, well. So I told her, I said, when I left to meet you, that that there was a pigeon standing by my doorway, and it obviously looked ill, and so I was worried that when we got back, it may be dead. And it turns out that when I got back, indeed the pigeon was dead. And she's like, "When did it die?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "When did it die?" And I'm like, "Well, it must have died sometime while we were, at dinner." And she's like, Oh, never mind. I'm like, never mind. What? Why? Because pigeon is good. I'm like, oh shit.
What?
Not only was she not upset about there being a dead pigeon, she was more upset she didn't get a chance to eat it.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was from a part of the world, a particular country that eating pigeon, that's
wow.
It was
I'm taken aback a little bit, but okay.
I was. Well, I think I just started laughing when you told me that. I was just like,
yeah.
I said, I like you a lot, but we're not going to eat roadkill together. That's just, there is a limit, There's a farm raised pigeon or something, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. I didn't know that people ate pigeon.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's just like dove. I mean, people hunt dove.
Like little tiny chickens.
Yeah. Well, and pigeons are bigger than doves. I mean, they're just a big meteor. They're like, baby turkey doves. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting first date. It's like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I ended up dating her for about 2 years. Just I adore her. Just she's wonderful, just crazy, crazy, beautiful, crazy. But yeah.
So what happened?
Well, we ended up, going to my apartment and having
Not that night. I
wonder-
mean, with it 2
okay.
years later.
Oh, well, this is going to give away who it is if she ever sees this. But
Well, I think she's gonna know. She's gonna know if she sees it. She's gonna see
well,
your
yeah,
face.
yeah, that's true.
Well, if you don't want to tell, you don't have to tell. I'm just curious.
Well, well, she was married. It turns out she was. I didn't
Oh, shit.
know. I didn't know that she was married at the time. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm sorry,
yeah,
George.
it's even more shocking than the pigeon. But
Wow.
she
Turns out she was after 2 years.
yeah.
Wow.
She met a new guy and got married, and then she quit seeing me, which I think is appropriate.
Oh, I thought she was married all along.
No, she was married all along. She was married to another guy and divorced him, and then married
What?
else. And then when she married the new guy, that's when she's like,
Wow.
I can't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's probably when you should draw the line as far as dating is when you do get married to somebody else.
Yeah. The second
Probably when you should like, okay, maybe we should back off a little bit. Yeah. Wow.
I'm not here to badmouth her country, but I will tell you that I know other women from her country, and all the women I knew from her country tend not to be faithful to their husbands. So I don't know if that's a tradition from their culture.
So we could probably Google it to find out or something, I guess, but
yeah, well, I'm not gonna do that right now.
not right now, but later I will.
But the pigeon story it's one of my absolute favorite stories ever, because it was totally the opposite. I thought
Right.
I'd cry, and she'd be like, "Oh, but the poor pigeon," and I was like, "No, pigeon's good." And I'm like, "Oh shit, man!"
Wow. No, I wouldn't have expected that, but that's interesting. That's a good story, George. I'll try.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have one good story that I have per week, and that's the story for the week.
What are you drinking tonight, by the way?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, not sponsored by Diet Coke, but we would accept.
What? Absolutely.
Do enjoy Diet Coke, although I also like Pepsi, but I haven't kind of scaling back on that lately.
So growing up, my next door neighbor was an executive for the Coca-Cola company.
Really?
Yes. And so it was ingrained in my blood that if anybody ever offers me a Pepsi, I hit them in the head with a bat as hard as I can. So I do not like Pepsi.
You know what I always wondered, when you go to a restaurant, you say, "Can I have a Coke?" And then they go, "Is Pepsi okay?" Like, do they have to say that? But is there like a regulation that says?
I don't know if there's a regulation. Now you're gonna get me telling other stories. I got too many stories.
You got real dark all of a sudden.
There, because I was looking at some stuff online, and so it was probably.
You can't wait till later?
I was Googling pigeons.
Pigeon soup. I think I've actually heard of pigeon soup now that you mention it.
I have not, but hey,
really?
it might be delicious. I don't think I ever had.
Actually, we might be sponsored by that. We could probably.
Now we probably can get a sponsor from Pizza Gianna. So
is that
Pizza
a person?
Gianna. No, Pizza Gianna. Well, kind of. Pizza Gianna recently opened. It opened, I think, yesterday here in the Dallas area, and it was opened by a high school buddy of mine, a guy named Frank Nunzio. Oh. Frank Nunzio, hey Frank.
Hey, what's bada bing?
So Frank's dad, Marco Nunzio, opened up Marco's Pizza in 1952, making it one of the oldest pizzerias in Dallas. And in 2019, the original location was hit by a tornado.
Oh crap!
Yeah, and so the whole thing went gone. And there's a national company called Marco's Pizza that kind of moved into the Dallas area, and they kind of were, threatening a lawsuit, even those guys
because
had
the name, trademark
yeah,
stuff. I hate
right.
that.
Yeah, so he ended up changing the name to My Family's Pizza, which, of course, nothing's changed the recipe. It's still delicious.
Yeah.
Then My Family's Pizza blew away, Wizard of Oz style. And then, so now he's opened Pizza Gianna, which is the name of his daughter, which I think is really cool. Yeah, so Pizza Gianna just opened finally after 2 years. It's open, it's up for business. I'm actually having it for dinner when I watch the Cowboys game tomorrow.
Sweet.
So, and I'd be willing to bet that Frank would give me $10 if we plug.
Well, if you play your cards right, we'll take you nationwide. But there's nothing better than sitting down. I mean, like just talking about pizza makes me want to eat pizza. I love pizza. So
yeah, it's really good. I can't tell you that today, and if I'm talking too much, tell me to shut up, because that's not a problem.
The whole idea is to talk, isn't it?
Yes. So today, I think you saw on my Facebook, was Fat Burger Day.
Oh yeah. I did see that actually. I had to think for a second, like, oh yeah, I saw your Facebook. Sure, I did. Okay, no, but I actually did. Yeah. Was it good?
It's so good. And I had forgotten that on the Beastie Boys' first major label release, on the song "New Style," they actually say, I eat at White Castle because it's the best, but when I go to the West Coast, but I fly a fat burger when I'm way out west, is the lyric of the song.
White Castle is where I dwell. I remember that line, but that might be from License to Ill. I don't know.
This is on License to Ill. It's on.
Is it?
Google it. Google lyrics to New Style, but the lyrics are like 15 pages of lyrics to it, because they just.
Well, that's all they do is all lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like me some Beastie Boys, though.
Oh, they're good. Those boys, the Brooklyn boys, they're nice.
I don't know what video it is, but we'll have to figure that part out. But like commenting on like videos and stuff, the New Style, yeah, okay, check it. Full lyrics, yeah, it's gonna be like a huge page. Wow. That's right. They mentioned Jimmy Page in this too. Yeah, I love this. Oh yeah, but I chill at White Castle because it's the best. But I'm fly at Fat Burger when I'm way out west. Check it.
Word. Yeah. So
I got 6 girlies in my Lincoln Continental. I met a girl at the party, started to flirt, told some rhymes, and she pulled up her skirt. I love this. Yeah, I'll probably see. That's the thing is like we'll talk about a song while we're working. We'll exchange information about whatever music we're listening to, and then I'll go on a kick and I'll like listen to that for hours. I'll probably listen to Beasties later.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. That was my but I'll stay on topic. So just in case you're wondering, if you ever come to, I think Texas is the closest one now. Yeah, if you ever come to the Dallas area, or if you go, I actually, the first time I ever ate at Fat Burger, I was working in Las Vegas. It was in 2003. I was working for Sprint, and I was staying at a City State hotel, and there was a Fat Burger around the corner. And the cool thing about Vegas is it has all the West Coast fast food chains. At the time, I was not particularly watching my weight. Not that it looks like I am now, but anyway. So I mean, there was In-N-Out Burger, and there was In-N-Out, and there was Del Taco, which was pretty cool because I hadn't had a Del Taco in years and years and years. And I was like, Fat Burger? What the hell is Fat Burger? So I went and I picked it up. I took it back to my place and I ate, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my, I mean, it's like a violent appreciation. I was just like, oh my, it's like Cookie Monster, it's like more. And so the last time I was in Vegas was for my 50th birthday, which was 3 freaking years ago. And the first thing I ate when I got there was Fat Burger. I went straight down.
Right there, huh?
It's attached to the MGM Grand. I went straight. That was the closest one. I went straight there. Got Fat Burger, and it was absolutely amazing. And then I was really concerned that when I ate the one here locally in Allen, which is a suburb of Dallas, that maybe because it's franchise and it wouldn't be quite right, or they'd screw something up, or I was just really concerned that it was going to be shitty, and it wasn't. It was fucking spectacular.
So good.
It was,
wow.
It was absolutely. I got the double XL, and I probably shouldn't have. And I mean, I can put away the groceries, as they say, but I couldn't finish my fries. I couldn't finish my shake. That's
Really?
how full I was.
Was the shake good too?
Oh God! And and the worst part is they have a banana shake, which every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds spectacular. But I didn't get it. So
we have I looked on the map and there's no fat burgers near me at all. It's like Philly is the closest one, but we have
really?
Shake Shack. Yeah, Philly's. There's one in Philly. You ever had Shake Shack? I
have had Shake Shack. So Shake Shack, Jon Stewart, before he left the Daily Show, I want to say he's got some money invested in Shake Shack.
Really?
And and so they opened up some Shake Shacks here in Dallas, and there's one actually very close to my parents' house. And Shake Shack is spectacular. I do not have a single bad thing to say about Shake Shack. Their stuff is really, really good.
I'm looking at your picture that you posted of that burger, and those fries look really good too. Like big steak cut fries, and the burger looks really good too.
Yep. Those fries are called fat fries.
Oh, it makes sense. These are big fat fries, yeah.
Yeah, you can get skinny shakes or skinny fries or fat fries, and I always get the fat fries because I prefer that big chunky fry. Yeah,
is that a strawberry shake that you got?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is. Is it the kind where it's the big chunks of the strawberry in there?
No, it's pureed much better than that. So there are no chunks to get blocked up in the straw.
It blocks the straw. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to like the Roy Rogers shakes for that. My dad and I used to go to Roy Rogers, and I would always get strawberry shake, and there'd be the big chunks of strawberry in there. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it's one of the great tragedies of where I live. Down literally 2 blocks from where I live, there used to be a fast food franchise called Crystal Burger. Crystal Burger is basically the southern version of White Castle.
Oh.
So they make sliders. They have a slider pack. It's called a steamer pack, which I always thought was kind of funny.
That is funny. You might not want to order that. You get something you don't want.
It was 12 sliders, and it was fantastic. Went out of business. Like Roy Rogers and Hardee's joined. There used to be quite a few around the Metroplex. I think they're all gone now.
Yeah. I like the Roy Rogers a lot.
So yeah, and it was like I always thought that it tasted like upscale Burger King. It has that same flame broiled, barbecue flavor to it, but it's just much better.
Yeah, I like that barbecue beef. I like that when you get. For whatever reason, I think about that going to Cape Cod because, like a lot of the places up there, when you get a burger, it's like barbecued or something, and boy, that's good. It's just a different kind of flavor. You don't get that, all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff in the Northeast that I have yet to experience. Like I've always wanted to go up to like the Maine area and just apparently they have like lobster shacks everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a lobster sandwich for like $1 or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, it's still expensive. Yeah, but they have also, if you ever get up that way, what you really want to try are fried clams because they have, and they're not clam strips. They're the whole belly of the clam. So it's like real salty and juicy. And it's not cheap. We go to New Hampshire every year for vacation. And we usually get, my wife's a big fan of the fried clams. So we'll get like a big platter of that a couple of times. And man, that's good. Really, really good. And yeah, they probably have lobster too, but we get the fried clams. Because you can get lobster here easy, but the fried clams, you don't get the whole bellies. So.
Yeah, I mean, we get lobster here, but it's probably a lot more expensive than it is up there. And a lot of the lobster we get here is actually Florida spiny lobster. It's not actually Maine lobster.
Yeah, we get lobster here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you go to like a nice steakhouse or something, or a nice seafood restaurant, you can even pick your own Maine lobster. That but generally, if you go like Outback, whatever, you're getting spiny lobster. You're not getting Maine lobster. So, food is
Well, we're coming up
good.
on half an hour, so I think why don't we call it for this meeting? I'm
Okay.
going to stop the recording in a second or two because everybody's probably tired of listening. But
All nobody.
all nobody, okay, all
all you
zero
and me.
listeners.